Hey everybody, Onion here. So, it's safe to say that I lost track of what day it was. It was a busy week. I unfortunately didn't have a whole lot of time to spend on gold making, so just getting the gold making part of it out of the way here, there's no progress on that. So what did I do last week? Well, I actually spent a lot of time doing art commissions. So a little bit of a shill status here that I'll go for. I do art commissions. I do Twitch emotes. I do character sketches. If you've got an original character you'd like to have sketched out, I can do that. If you're looking for any sort of art, feel free to come check me out. I'll gladly help you out with that. But yeah, that's what I was doing most of last week. And then my time in WoW, I was spent mostly working on Mythic Dungeons. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Mythic Dungeons. Currently, a few friends of mine approached me about joining them to do Mythic Dungeons. Currently, there are 4 of us, so we are looking for a 5th, preferably a geared healer who is willing to learn or already knows the fights in Mythic Plus keys. Now, with that said, our progress so far is our tank of the group, he got himself a Mythic 13 key on his own. He went off on his own and did his own thing. But as a group, we got a rank 11 key finished. Unfortunately, it wasn't on time. Now, the problem is that we're facing seems to be a lot in the people that join the groups, not knowing the mechanics and just in general not saying a word about it. People jump into our mythic keys like they're jumping into LFR, kind of expecting that they can cheese the mechanics and, you know, not have to do anything. Like this last week, we had the exploding affix, and so many times the DPS that were mostly in charge of taking care of the explosions, they just wouldn't do it. They wouldn't just turn around and hit the explosive. And, you know, as a arcane mage, I could attack the explosives, but the problem is usually by the time I get a cast off on them, someone's already destroyed them. So my group's basically told me to not focus on those, just focus on the boss. Only clear those out if they're way too far away from the group to even have them approach. So last week was a rough week. Hopefully this week's a little bit better. If we do anything this week, I don't know. I know one of our friends has been a little bit sick a couple days, so you know, it is what it is. That said, though, you know, we could use a healer for our group. Again, someone that knows the mechanics, preferably, or someone that is open to learning and is willing to put in the time. Again, we're doing this on Alliance side in North America. So if you're interested in coming along, definitely let me know. I haven't told my group that I'm putting this request out there for the world, so obviously I'll have to clear things with them first before I bring anybody in. But you know, consider this an audition. The goal here is we want to try and get the achievement for getting all rank 15 keys. That's our goal for the expansion. If we can get that done, then we'll be super happy. And honestly, our group's a fairly decent group. Admittedly, our tank's a little bit of a hothead. We've asked him to unbind his chat key on numerous occasions, but he still continues to run people off if they make even a single mistake. It's a little frustrating sometimes. Sometimes I wish I could throttle the guy, but you know, It's my friend's boyfriend. I'm not gonna intrude there. I'll just put out my 2 cents and move on. But you know, it is what it is. As far as the guild on Illidan, the Old Hunters is still recruiting. If you're interested in joining the guild, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll leave my Bnet ID in the description here temporarily. If people get crazy with that and start spamming me with nonsense, then I will remove it. Of course, once it's out in the world, it's out there forever, so there's always a possibility that even if I remove it, it's not going to be removed for good, but whatever. But I will leave the information in there, so if you want to join in on the guild, definitely feel free to reach out. A little bit about the guild. In Shadowlands, we are hoping to possibly do some raiding, maybe some Mythic Plus groups, etc. In Shadowlands, I also want it to be kind of a social experience. I want there to always be, at least during the normal gaming hours, I want there to be someone that's online most of the time when you log in. I want you to feel like you're never alone when you're playing the game, because unfortunately a lot of guilds these days has that experience of just being alone. You can ask questions in guild and no one responds and all that, and admittedly right now it's kind of like that in the guild because we don't have very many people. So if we can get a good influx of people to come in, even if you're just leveling an alt for the guild, you know, as long as you can be active, that's kind of what we're looking for. Don't expect you to pay for a character transfer. That's unfortunately, that's a little bit of an expensive endeavor for some people, and I never expect anyone to do that. In fact, I'd probably even say, if you're not on Illidan already, I don't expect you to apply for the guild at all. There's no guild application for it. Just want to know what you're about, basically. You can always apply offline. We are in the guild finder. Again, we are the Old Hunters, and we'd be super happy to have you with us. So let's go ahead and get into the WoW news. So, as you can kind of tell from the B-roll that I've been playing all day, this news is going to be a little bit classic-centric, partially thanks to the situation surrounding the gates of Anchorage. So, with that said, let's just go over the news. So firstly, let's talk about the race to clear AQ40. It looks like Onslaught is the first NA guild to clear Classic Cthulhu. Apparently, they rushed to Cthulhu, skipped many of the bosses, and even post-Twin Emperor's trash. So, congrats to Onslaught. I will include a link to the video in the description that WoW had linked to, so you guys can watch that. Also, it is being reported that Rise is the first NA guild to clear all 9 bosses in Classic AQ. Big congrats to Rise. Yet again, I will be posting videos that are linked to these completions in the description. So next up, I'm going to kind of shift gears into something regarding toxic behavior. It does appear that recently, during the whole war effort, numerous players on the server Sulfuris participated in mass reporting players to gain an unfair advantage. It appears that the primary source of this comes from a guild named Grizzly from Reddit. Seems like from everything that I've read, different news reports and stuff about it, they're the primary people who take claim to have done this, or people are pointing to them at this point here for the most part. I don't want to give incorrect information, so I'm kind of trying to avoid doing that, but it would seem that they're the primary source of this mass reporting on Sulfuris. According to this report here, they mass reported a player named Souffle who was unfortunately unjustly banned right afterwards. It does appear that Souffle's ban was overturned, so congrats to Souffle on getting back. Unfortunately, it sucks that people have to take to Twitter or Reddit or whatever just to get some sort of notice of situations like this, but in current society, it appears that outrage is the only way to get things taken care of. It feels like, as much as I hate to say that. So yeah, my thoughts on this situation is obviously mass reporting people to get an unfair advantage is just don't do it at all. If you do that, I feel like Blizzard should be justified enough to ban you and your guild, whoever submitted those reports. I feel like they should be justified in banning your account, if not just outright permaban. I don't believe Blizzard would ever permaban anybody for that unless, of course, they were repeatedly doing these things or their behavior over the years has been equally toxic in other forms. But, you know, I would say a good 6-month ban is more than justified in that case. That's my opinion, though. You're entitled to yours. But, you know, in the end, the mass report system, the report system itself is intended for people to use to report botters, cheaters, you know, things of that nature. Obviously, Blizzard has been slow at reacting to the botters and cheaters in a lot of instances here. So you may not realize that that system is there for you to use for those situations, but you shouldn't think ever that that system is there for you to get someone banned who's just simply trying to complete the war effort. Like, that's not right. I really do hope Blizzard does take action in this. I'm glad to hear that Souffle was unbanned, and hopefully that doesn't happen again. Hopefully this is a wake-up call for everybody that this isn't good. And as an update, because apparently I can't do my due diligence on this without screwing up somehow. It does look like Blizzard had responded to this situation here. In fact, I'll go ahead and read this message off verbatim. It says, "Thanks for your patience while we investigated this one, everybody. After reviewing the accounts in question, we can confirm that the actions did not happen as the result of an abuse of the report system." That part's kind of worded weird, but I'll continue. "While investigating the accounts involved, we did discover evidence of some players who were attempting to file false reports with bad intent and have actioned those accounts for abuse of game systems. As a reminder, the reporting system is there to help us combat bad behavior, toxicity, and unfair gameplay. Attempts to trick or defraud a game master or abusing the system will result in account actions. For anyone whose account received a suspension or action and would like to appeal, please submit a ticket, and our game masters will investigate. We'll continue to review these appeals on a case-by-case basis, and as always, overturn and make it right if an error was made. As I won't be able to discuss the specifics of the accounts involved, I'll be locking this thread. Thank you for bringing this to our attention, everyone." So it would seem that they have taken action against accounts who were abusing that system. So good job, Blizzard. Thank you very much for taking action on that. I don't know the extent of the actions that they don't tell us, but this is definitely good news. and I hope people will think twice before abusing that system going forward. However, with that being said, the next bit of news almost seems justified. And in my opinion, it's extremely epic. So it would seem that on the Sulfuras realm, the same guild that Grizzly from Reddit reside, have successfully denied the Alliance attempts to complete the Scarab Lord quest chain. So in retaliation against Grizzly from Reddit for the mass reports against Souffle, over 600 players from Horde congregated at the Caverns of Time, kept Anachronos in combat, and slayed any Alliance player who attempted to break through the line. So despite being a major contributor to the war effort, it would seem that their own hubris and corruption was Grizzly from Reddit's demise. Unfortunately, this situation also led to many Alliance players on Sulfuras to not be able to complete their Scarab Lord quest chain. At this point, they can thank their friends at Grizzly from Reddit for that. Had they not gone and underhandedly mass reported players, I think that they could have probably all kind of worked together and got things done. But, you know, maybe going forward, this will be a big red flag to anyone from doing anything like mass reporting players again. Now, at this point though, no matter whether they completed their quest line or not, anyone taking part in this battle have a far more epic story to tell, I think, than the 10-hour war itself. So let me tell you, if I was there and this was going on, I don't care how pissed off I would get. That's really awesome. That's, you know, that's kind of like a South Shore Terran Mill Slaughterfest 2.0 in my opinion. It's such a cool thing to see, and I'm glad to hear stories about things like this popping up, especially when you get a little bit of like retaliation against people who abuse Blizzard systems. And so that's it for this video. So at this point here, I just want to thank you guys for watching my videos. You guys make it really exciting for me to post these videos every week. You know, the interaction that I get from you guys, it keeps me wanting to create content. And you know, we're like a quarter of the way to 1,000 subscribers now. I would love to hit my partner status again. That would be wonderful if I could do that, but you know, it's not something that I'm expecting to do right away. I think the biggest support that you guys give to this channel is just being there to watch the content and leave your feedback and all that. I've loved it every time I get new tips for different things and whatnot. It's always been fun. My goal for these videos is always kind of share my love of the game with people, and hopefully that comes across. You know, if I have to switch formats or everything like that to be able to make these videos, I'm more than willing to do so also. I've never been good with words, especially, you know, not having something scripted out in front of me or anything like that. But you know, again, these are vlog videos. I do have a little bit of you know, bullet points that I try and go over every video, but these videos are usually straight from the heart. I don't have any sort of thing. So just seeing that people enjoy this type of content, I appreciate it a whole lot. Now, if you would like to support the channel, obviously, liking and subscribing to the channel is free, and sharing it with your friends definitely helps get the word out about my videos. I do have a Patreon available if you would like to support the channel further. Also, if you are interested in any art commissions, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I do art commissions. For $10 each, I can do emotes for your Twitch channels. I'll even do character sketches starting at $10. That's just something that I do to try and make ends meet. So hopefully you guys consider me if you guys need any art done. You can reach out to me on any of my social media, and we can always discuss it. I also have a Fiverr account, so if you prefer to just put in your orders through there, that's absolutely fine as well. Also, I have been trying to stream as often as possible. Last week I streamed about 3 days in a row, usually starting around noon. So go follow me on Twitch. Everything that I'm talking about here, links are in the description and probably in the first comment as well. Again, I appreciate you guys. Go follow me on Twitter also. You guys are awesome. I'm going to probably just end this video here before I keep rambling. And I'm going to go edit this video so I can get it out to you guys here, since it's already a day late anyway. So, yeah, see you guys next time. See you next week.